Hi devs, welcome to Becodewala. I welcome you to my new amazing project, and in this project we are going to write the code for our premium car website using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. In the last video I have shown you the demo of our website that we have built. You can see that I have uploaded the demo of my car website on my YouTube channel. You can go and check out the demo. Now we are going to start building our premium car website using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So you can see that the premium look of our car website built using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So if you are new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe our channel for more such amazing website and front-end and full-stack project. So this premium car website we are going to write the code for this. So let's start with the coding part of this premium website. So here first of all we have to create our HTML file. So index.html, then we can create style.css. So styles.css for the styling, then we can write main.js for JavaScript. So start with the HTML. So we'll write the basic structure of our HTML. This is the basic structure that we start with. Then we have to write the title that we want to show. So let me first start go live. So this is the go live extension you can install here in our VS Code go live, and you can directly run your project. So our project is running here. So you can see that initially it is saying document, right? So we have to change the title of that. So to change the title we have to write that title text in the title tag. So here we'll write apex motor experience the future. So let me show you. You can see that apex motor experience the future. Now after that we can also connect our style.css. So to connect our style.css we have to use link tag. Then we have to identify here, write the path style.css. Then we have to we are going to use font family Poppins. So this is the Google font. So you search Google fonts, go on Poppins, click on get font, get embedded code. Then here copy this link. Here this is the link, right? So copy on this link. After copy, paste it here. Now after that we can start writing our structure of our HTML file. So first of all let's see what are the things we have included. So when we load for the first time it show a loading apex, right? You can see that for 15 seconds, sorry 1.5 second. So that functionality for the set timeout we are going to use set timeout, right, in JavaScript to show for a few seconds that loader, right? This is the loader, right, our logo. So that we are going to first build that. So for that we'll create a div, and in this div we have to define the id. We have to write the id preloader so that we can access this div element in our main.js and we can add functionality on that. Then we have added the class for the styling, so you can use this class for styling in our style.css. Then we have created another div, and in this we have added the preloader content. So in this the loading content like the logo and the loading bar below it. So you can see that when we load, so it show the logo and loading bar below, right? So for that now we can style this. So for a styling part we have going to use root, the root variable. So here we will write our variable. So in primary bg we have defined this color. This is the variable, like we define variable in main.js. We write like create variable in style.css like this, and we can use this variable. We no need to write this same color code again and again. We can use this same name to apply this color, right? So we have created some variable that we are going to use in our site. So on our website we want margin 0 margin 0, padding 0, then we can write box sizing border box. And for HTML we want scroll behavior smooth, behavior smooth, right? Then for our body tag, so here we have a body tag, right? Here body tag, so for that we want styling like background color with primary bg, and in primary bg we have defined this color code, right? So you can use that variable. Then for the color of the text we have a text primary, and the overflow in the x-axis hidden, and minimum height 100 bs, so that it will take the height of this viewport. And you can see that apex the loader, this is the text that we are going to use for the loader. So now we have a container, so we can create a container class that we are going to use for our other section. So for that we have used the max width 1400 pixel, then margin 0 and auto for the in the center, and the padding we have added for the content. That container class we are going to use later in our HTML, that I will tell you. Now for the preloader, so this is the preloader, right? Class preloader. For that let's style this. So for styling that preloader we have to add the position fix for the preloader, and then we have to make top and left 0 and width height 100%, and background color bg primary, and then display flex. Then we have added the align item center and justify content center. So see, it is in the center, right? You can see that. And transition opacity 0.5 second each, and visibility 0.5 second each. So this is the transition that we have added. Now preloader hidden, so we have to here opacity 0, visibility hidden. So why we are adding, when we add this hidden class, right? So hidden, so this is the preloader. So here hidden class, that where this hidden class coming from, here we have not defined any hidden class. That hidden class we will write in our JavaScript. That hidden class, when we apply that time it will make the opacity 0. So we can't show the loader for the infinite time. We have to show loader for a few seconds, then we have to show our website, right? So for that we have added the hidden class opacity 0 and visibility hidden. It will hide. So currently it is not hiding, right? Because we have not added the JavaScript, right? Now preloader content, so that content should be in the center. Now we can add the logo header. So where is our, this is our logo loader, right? So logo loader, for that we can add the font family outfit. You can use the pop-ins also, it's your choice. Then font size, then font weight and background. Then we have added the background clip text, so it will take the background color in the text, right? And text color fill color is transparent. Then background clip text and margin bottom. So these are the things that we have applied here. See, so background color is coming, that we have defined, right? See, secondary primary bg, right? And here we have used what is the gradient, and where is our gradient? This is the linear gradient, right? So this is the variable that we are using in the background. And to apply our background color on the text we have used webkit background clip text, right? Then we have filled the color transparent, then the background clip text. Then we have added the animation pulse. So this pulse animation we have not created, we have to create using keyframes. And this animation will of for 2 seconds, right? And is in out infinite, right? Then loading bar, so in the logo below we have no loading bar is appearing right now. So for that we have to add the width of that loading bar, height, background color, border radius, overflow. So now you can see that the loading bar. Now it should like show a color on the loading bar, right? Inside that it should show a loading, right? So for that we have to fill with the color, moving color. So we are adding the content empty and position absolute, then top left 0, width and height 100, width we are adding 50, and the height 100%. Then background color, border radius and animation loading. So it is it will just feel, it is not like moving, right? So we have to move, we have to use keyframes, right? So keyframes loading, we have to create the keep animation for loading. So loading 0 to 100% transform, translate x minus 100 pixel percent, and then at the 50% we have to add 300, right? So you can see that it is see moving. So you can see that the moving of this, the loader after. So in the loader after we have applied the background, right? That it is loading because of this loading with the infinite time is in out 0.5 seconds. See, it is loading. Now pulse, the pulse we have created, right? Where is your pulse? For our logo loader, right? So for that also we can create the animation, right? Pulse and opacity 0, then opacity you can see that we apply using, we have to hide that it is currently showing, it is not hiding, right? We have to add using JavaScript, right? So now let's create the cursor, right? So you can see that when we move the cursor, you can see that, and a following circle also on our cursor, see. And when we go out of this viewport, it stop here only, right? See, and you can see that how the cool animation that we have added on the cursor, you can see that. So this feature we are going to add using HTML, CSS and the JavaScript. So first of all we have to create two divs, and one div for the cursor, one div for the cursor follower, right? The round circle. Now let's add the styling for that. Currently it will not show, right? Now first of all let's add the styling. So for the cursor and cursor follower we have to add the width, height, border radius, position, pointer, events none, right? Pointer events none. Then z index you can define your round z index, then transition transform 0.2 second each and display none. So it is not showing currently, right? We have to add using JavaScript. So minimum width, so this is the media query. So we have to write display block on the minimum width, you can see that 1025 pixel. So at that minimum width we are adding the display block. So this how we add the, like, the breakpoints, at what breakpoint you want to add this display block, right? So you can write using this according to the device width. Then cursor background we have added the accent blue and mix blend mode difference. So currently it will not show. Now the cursor follower, so for that we have used a border 2 pixel and transform scale 1.5 and transition 0.3 second each. Currently our cursor will not show because we have not added the full functionality. So when we will write our JavaScript, that time we will complete our code for our all the functionality, like hiding the this logo and moving cursor. So JavaScript played very different role in our adding the interactive to our site. So let's create the navbar. So to create the navbar, first of all let me show you how you can create the navbar. So first of all we have to create a nav tag, and we have not added the script. So like main.js, so here src, so we can add the main.js, right? Here currently our loader is showing, right? Our loader is showing, and here we have added here the navbar, right? I will explain you how we can add the HTML for navbar. But currently in navbar we have some element that we have added, right? Home model, right? So this navbar is the elements is not showing, right? We have to add the functionality for in the JavaScript for the loader. We have to hide the loader. So how we can add the visibility hidden? So here we have added in our, let me search and show you hidden. So here in the preloader we have added the hidden class. This hidden class we will add using JavaScript. So here we are going to use add event listener load. So this is the load event listener provided by JavaScript, and at that time we have added the set timeout. After 1.5 second we have to add the class list hidden. So first of all we have to get this parent. This is the in which our loader is present. In that we have to first select it by id, that id we have given, right? Preloader we are selecting that. Then in that we are adding the class hidden, and this class hidden, what is the opacity 0 and visibility hidden. So now our, let me show you, it is loading for 1.5 second, and now it hidden, and now after hidden it is showing the our, this is the like added the navbar, the navlix it is showing. And this you can see that that cursor that we have added the circle and all, it is on the top left side, right? So we have not added the functionality for that. So let's add for that also. We will finish that functionality so that it will look good. So first of all we have to select that both the things, cursor and cursor follower, right, in JavaScript. So we are going to use query selector, and we are selecting the class. Is that you can use the class method also to select. Then what are the functionality that we have added? So on we have to add the event listener provided by JavaScript. So mouse move, when we move our mouse, then we have to add the event cursor style dot left e dot client text pixel. So this is the e dot client text. So what is client text? So let me show you. So here client text read only property of the mouse event interface provided the horizontal coordinate within application viewport. So this is our viewport of your, see, of our this like screen, right? So in that screen it read the property of our mouse when we move in the horizontal coordinate, right? So and this is for the vertical, y means vertical coordinate. Then it will add the top style according to the when we move our mouse, our cursor on our viewport on the visible screen. And then set timeout, the cursor follower, like cursor follower and cursor follower dot style. We have to see we are when we are moving, right? So you can see that there is a little delay. Eh, so when we move fast there is a gap, right? So see, there is a gap when we move, and after that when we stop it rounded the our the middle one. So how we are adding? So it's adding the delay using set timeout on the cursor follower, the rounded circle, right? Right here we are adding the here 100 millisecond delay. See, so when we remove this, let me show you. So now you can see that, let me show you. See, the rounded circle will, it will be here only on the, it will not follow this. So we have to add the set timeout, and according to the that client x and client y, when we moving our mouse according to that it will find the, so and each and every point in our viewport there is a like the here, suppose my width is 1204. So each has a every point width. Here is the width is different, here width is different, here height is different. So each and every point we have a x and y direction point, the coordinates, right? according to that it will find that, and it will move to this, right, the circle one to the center. See, so this is the provided by JavaScript, right, that you can add. Now here everything is fine. Here we have our navbar, right? So how we are going to add the navbar? So to add the navbar, we have to add the nav class, sorry, we have to add the nav tag, and in this we have to add the class for the styling id for the JavaScript here, so that we can add the access and apply the styling, right? Now after that we have to create a container div. Using div we are going to create a container, nav container, and in this container all the things. So what are the things? First we have to add this, first the logo, then all the links, then button, right? And then we have a menu bar also, right? So we can add all these things. So in our, first of all we have added the logo. So we have to create a div. In this we have added the span tag. In this we have added the logo text, nav logo. So it will be in a particular box, so it will not interfere other elements. Then we have created an unordered list. In that we have added the many list. This is the like home, model, gallery, features, and contact. And we have defined this href hashtag home, so that when you click on this it will go to that section. We, when we will create this home section, model section, right, that time we'll use home as a id, models as a id, so that we, when we click it will go to that particular section, right? So this how we create our navbar, right? In the list we have defined the anchor tag, and in this anchor tag we define the text that to be appear home models feature, and added the class navlink so that we can apply the styling on each navlink, right? So after that we have a test drive button, right? So this test drive button you can create a button tag and added the class for the styling, adding the styling on this button. Then here we have added another div. In this we have a 3 span tag, so you can use the icons from the Google also, otherwise you can create your own navbar. So here when you go on a small devices it will show a hamburger menu, so that you can click and show the this nav menu links, right? So we are going to create our hamburger menu using our style HTML CSS, right? And after that currently it will, we are not going to show, we have to show on our small devices the nav bar, hamburger menu, right? So now let's write the style for our nav bar. So we have to make the nav bar, first of all position fixed, then top left 0, then width 100%, then we have to make padding 1.5 rem, and z index and transition you can apply on it. You can see that. Now navbar scroll. So if we scroll the navbar we have to add the background color, so that we are going to add using Java. So when we scroll, see background color add change on the navbar, see at a particular scroll. So here this style will apply when we scroll down. So currently it will not apply. When we will write JavaScript, that time it will apply. So in nav container we have to make that with a particular max width, then margin and padding, then display flex, then align items as the justify content between, so that it will take the space between these nav items. Then nav logo. So for nav logo we are adding the nav logo z index 10, so 1001. So after that the logo text we can style, like we have a style for the other loading. So similarly we can style this also with a background color, and the background color to apply on the text we are going to use background clip text, right? So after that all these name menu are not in a flex wise row wise, so we can make it in a flex list style null, and gap and align item center, so it will be in flex row wise. Then enabling, so we can style each enabling. So first of all we have to apply the color, then text decoration none, then font weight, font size, position, let space between the letters, right? So after that, then nav after, so position absolute, so that when we hover on it, it should apply some style, right? So for that we have added the bottom -5 pixel absolute height width, and then background. Then we have added the transition. Then when you hover on it, let me show you, when you hover on it, the text color, the primary color, see, when you hover on it, see the color changes, right? How cool it is. And this after effect we have to apply on this, right? So we make with 100%. So you can see that the now in the below we have a line, the border, like border bottom, so that we have applied using this after condition with the height 2 and width 0, right? And the it will with 100% when we hover on it, this with the after pseudo class, right? Then let's style the CTA button, right? Like test drive. So here we have a test drive button, we can style this also, add the padding, font weight, border, cursor pointer, transition, color, spacing, so all these things we can add. So you can see that now we can add more over it, background color, color of the text, box shadow, whatever the things we want to add you can add it. So you can see that the background gradient color, so it depends on you how you want to style your site, right? Now for the hamburger menu, right, the three lines, so for that display none, we don't want to show on our large device, we have to show on the small device. For that we will write media queries in the style.css only, so no worries, that time we have to make the display block. And here flex direction column, so that all the menu will show in a column wise on the small devices. Then gap, have to add cursor pointer and z index. Then hamburger span, so each line, so first of all we have a three span, right? So we created three lines, right? So for that we get height, width and background color, then border, radius, then for each child, right? So using that span we have to make the cross also, right? When we close and, so let me show you, where is, let me refresh this, why it is overflowing. So let me show you, you can fix the overflow here. So here when we open it, so using this span we are creating that this cross icon, so that we can close and open this, right? So for that, the first one we have to make a rotate and translate at this pixel, then second one we have to hide, and then the third one we have to rotate in a opposite, so that it will make the cross, right? So for that, so this how we have styled our navbar. You can see that it is looking great. Now we can style our hero section. Here the car website in the background, some text and all. So we'll style that also right now. So let's write the JavaScript functionality on navbar. So to add the ja navbar functionality using JavaScript, first of all we have to select the parent element, the navbar. So here we have selected the using id in the navbar, this id we are selecting, and then after that we have to apply the style. So when we scroll, at what scroll height we have to apply the background color to black. Currently it will not show, when we write our hero section that time it will show. So when we scroll greater than 100 in y, so horizontally, then it will apply the scroll class, otherwise it will remove this. So you can see that in the scroll class that we have added to our nav. So here you can see on the top scroll, so this scroll class applied by the JavaScript. Then for the hamburger menu, open and close, So for that we have to get the first hamburger menu from here, and after that we have to get that the id nav menu. So this nav menu id, you can see that each element that it is stored, when you click on this it will show this element. So how we are going to add the functionality for that? So first of all, where we have to apply on the hamburger menu, we have to apply the click event, right? When the user will click, we have to add the class list toggle active, and on the nav menu also it will toggle the active, so it will add and remove, so it will toggle. Now after that we have to get the each name link. So how we are going to get the each name link? Using enabling class. Here enabling class, you can see that. So we have to take that. Then after that we have to loop over it, right? Using for each link, right? When we click on that it will go to the targeted section. So when we click on this, so it should go to the particular section. So for that we have written this. Then after that, how we are going to get the target id, right? Using href. So in each we have used the href hashtag home. So for each section we have to add the id. When you create hero section, we'll add id home. So for that we are going to the particular href, then it will go to the particular if the target section. So if target section is present, then it will go into the that particular target section, and behavior will be smooth. Scroll into view, it will go in the viewport. When you click on, it will automatically come in your viewport of your screen. Then it will remove the active from the hamburger. Now for the test, so you can see that the test type. So for that we can add the functionality. So first of all we have to select the cta button. So for each button, right, if button dot text include explore. So this here we have no like text include. Here if it is test drive, so here it is showing test drive, right? So it will apply this functionality on the test drive, and it will apply this functionality on the explore if the text content explore. So how we are going to check the this text content test drive? Using javascript, using button dot text content include explore button dot text content. So this button dot text content test drive. So if it contain this text, so then we have to add the click event, and when you click it will go to the contact section. So how we are going to go to the contact section? First of all we have to get the element by id. When we will create the contact section, we'll add the id contact, and with that we are going to select that particular section. Then we have to we have to make that section to show in our visible this viewport. So for that we have to use the scroll into view, and it will scroll smoothly and it will come into your viewport. So for that we can add this functionality, right? Write the code for the home section. So home section we are going to use just section tag and the id home, as we have discussed before. So we are going to use the section tag, right? And in section tag we have added the id home and class hero section. So in this section, first of all we have a background image. So here we have a background image animating in the background, and the beautiful color gradient, and the text on the top, and the two buttons and a scroll animation. So to do that we have to create a first div, and in that we have to include our image. So I've created a div, and in this we have added our image. So you can paste any image link here. I pasted the image link here in the src. Then we have added the class for styling this image. Then we have added the hero overlay. So to apply the style, the gradient and all, then particles. So so you can see that currently it is showing right now like this. So we have to style all this, so like this, with the background gradient, right? And let's see that. So here in the hero content we have a Like first of all the title, the experience the future, the top heading, then paragraph we have, right? Then we have a two button explore model and watch. So then we have a scroll, that is scroll arrow right below. So for that we can add the scroll arrow. So you can copy the code. See, this is the image for the, this D for the image, this D for the content that we have written, like the heading, the text, and one for the scroll below. So let's style our image first. See, we have to make it in a perfect width and height. So so to do that, first of all we have to use the hero section class that we have used. So we have to apply the 100 vs, so it will take the only height of this, the viewport. Then display flex and flex direction column, and the item center justify content center, so all this make it in a center. And after that the hero background. So for the background image you can see that for that we have to add the position absolute according to the relative. This is the parent div. Then top left 0, then width height 100%, and it will take the viewport height. So let me refresh it, and it is, see, it is not scrolling now below. See, because it is taking the viewport height only, height and width, so it is not overflowing below. Now for the hero car image. So for the car image we have added the position absolute with height 100% and object fit cover, so that it will not stretch and all, so it will perfectly cover the visible area. Then opacity we have added, then and then we have added the z index, so that, see, in the background, see, now we have to add the overlay. So let me add it the overlay. When we add the overlay, it will apply this background color. So in the background gradient, right? So absolute, top left 0, width height, and background. So this is the color that we applied on this image. Now we have the animation particles, right? So that, so for that we, we can write the position with the absolute, then 100% width and height, and the index 3. Then we have to add the before and after pseudo class. For that, in that we have to add the height and width and blur, and then we have to apply the animation float of infinite second. It is not showing right now because we have to apply the before and after on each particle. So so let me show you. So each particle, see, each particles before and after we have applied the this background. So and after Asian purple, then top here 20, then left 10, then in after we have added the this. So currently it is applying but it is not animating, right? You can see that the two background, see, two background and rounded particles. So we have to apply animation, we have to use keyframes, and in keyframes we have to use this float, right? So this float and the car float for the car floating. So in above we have used car float to float the car, animate, apply animation on the car. So to apply animation on the car we have used the 0 to 100%, translate by 0 and scale 1, and at 50% we have to translate by minus 15 pixel and scale 1.02, and the float of this gradient, that particles. So at 0 100%, at 33% you can define the percentage between at what percentage what style you want to apply, like transform, translate in the 50 pixel in xy, whatever the horizontal. See, now the car is animating, is scaling down, scaling up, and the particle also animating. So now we left with this experience the future text, this the paragraph, then button and scroll. So for hero content we have to make the position relative and the z index so that it will appear above. See, before it was in back, so we have to increase the z index, right? Then here hero title, we have to make the font family, font weight, margin, letter spacing, so that you can see that experience the feature, the text you can see that. Then we can, after hero title, we can write the title line. So block opacity 0, right? So you can see that currently it is not showing, right? Now title line dot second child, so that time we will apply the animation delay 0.2. So then we have to add the fade in up. This is the fade in up class. So transform translate by 0. See, now it will show. See, when it loaded, then it will show. So when you scroll right, that time it will apply the fade in up. So when we come for the first time, and for the hero subtitle we have added the font size, margin, bottom, font weight, opacity and fade in up for this also, the below text. Then hero cat, so for that we have added the flex. This is the buttons, right? So for that, then first of all, first button we can add the different color. For second button we can use the secondary. So for first cta primary, this background color of the text box shadow, when you hover on it, it will apply this translate y and see translate y background gradient. And for the watch video, this is the second button, so we can apply the style on that also. So we have applied the style on that also. See, watch button, watch video, so on that also. Then a scroll indicator, you can see that we have to make it below, right? So make it below. Scroll indicator position absolute, bottom 3 rem, left 50% and transform into x is minus 50%. Then display flex, flex direction column, so it will be in column wise, and we have to add the gap color, and then we have to add the opacity. See, it will animating from the left hand side. So fade in up, so this is the fade in up that class, that animation, the key using keyframes that we have created. Then scroll arrow, for a scroll arrow 1 pixel width and the 40 pixel height and the background, so you can see that the line, right? Now scroll after, so we have to create the arrow sign, right? We have created the line, but we have to create the two lines should appear. So you can see that now it is showing, because we have applied on a scroll arrow after. So on that only we have to apply the position absolute, left 50%, bottom 0, then height width 80%. Then what we have to do, we have to write border right 1 pixel, border bottom 1 pixel with the solid, and we have to translate in x and rotate 45 degree, so that it will apply to this point, right? Now keyframe bounce, so we we can add the keyframe bounce if we have used bounce. So this is the keyframe bounce, so we can apply the style for this animation, right? So you can see that it is bouncing back. See, then so we can apply the keyframes for the styling, right, animating our particular element. And we can define the different, yeah, percentage, at what percentage it will animate, like in translate y in vertical 0, and then in y at the 50 it will 10 pixel. So all this section, see, it is animating, right? Now it is looking great and similar to this, right? So you can see that we have created our hero section successfully. Now what are the other sections? So other section we have a feature models. The next part we will build our feature model section. In this we will create all these three cards and we will apply the styling. Similarly, we will create the remaining section also. So hope you guys like the tutorial of how we made our navbar, right? So and the hero section. So see you in the next part of this project. So thanks for watching. We'll meet in next tutorial of this project, and you can get the source code on the github. Thank you.